Hello everyone, Warhammer back with episode 5 of a modded Tyrion campaign for the High Elves. Now before we get started, I want to note that we actually added 2 more mods to the campaign that enable Mixu's legendary characters. So if you bring this up, it has all these named characters from the Warhammer lore that will take the place of lots of minor factions. For us, I've only enabled the High Elf faction, so we have Balianar, who normally leads Safari, Coro Linemane, who is the leader of Krace, he's the captain of the White Lions, and then Caradryan, who is the captain of the Phoenix Guard, and he will appear as a legendary hero for us. And other than that, I would also like to give a shout out to Censure, if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you so much for becoming a member on the channel. I appreciate that support so much. But let's get into the campaign. Before we do that, though, I'm going to make a few changes. Someone pointed out that I should be building outposts with our elven allies because it will actually give us more influence and grandeur, actually, with our Phoenix Court mod. When we build a outpost in High Elf territory, we gain more grandeur per turn, so that's going to be really nice. It actually makes some alliances a little bit more enticing to me. And for Caradryan, the captain of the Phoenix Guard, he normally gets recruited when you build the Shrine of Assyrian, but since we've already done that, he will appear next turn.
To victory.
But let's take a look at this this battle. Oh, it is a siege battle, so let's actually do the Invocation of Vol. This is going to give us Vol's Hammer, which lets us get rid of some siege equipment or barriers and things like that, so let's do that. It also gives a really nice item. So the Ring of Hukon gives us plus 30% battle loot and sacking, which is a lot, plus 15 charge bonus. Seagold Parrying Blade gives 10 melee defense and weapon strength. Enchanted Ethamar Breastplate gives 5 armor, 10% ward save, and 4 melee defense. That's pretty good. And then the Emerald Collar, awesome. Poison attacks and regeneration from the Seed of Rebirth. We definitely want that one.
By Assyrian.
And let's go ahead and rename our noble too. For Censure. He's gonna stick around with us for a while, hopefully. let's look at through the items real fast. Make sure we have everything equipped that we want to. Tyrion does not have the Heart of Avalorn equipped for some reason, so let's make sure that gets on there so that he gets the set bonus. And then for our talisman, our noble is going to take the Emerald Collar, so that should leave the Golden Crown ready for Tyrion. And Ciliaries, let's put these banners on. Attack. And for enchanted items, do we have anything good for you? Cloak of Beards. Oh, we have the Jar of All Souls. This makes him immortal, so that's really good because he might die during this battle. You never know. And that's a pretty good place to begin the battle. Let's start. Yeah, this is going to be pretty difficult. We don't have any magic because our mage is still in Cathay. So this gives extra range. Let's put that on one of our normal archers. And then the spell resist. Probably on our spearman, most likely. Yeah. Let's do it. We come back to take the Shrine of Remembrance, what remains of Tor Anrak, once the capital of Tiranoc. It is garrisoned by a pretty good amount of units. Count Noctilus leading the defense. Several units of animated hulks, lots of gunpowder, gunnery mobs, only a few handgunners, but several flubats, some deck droppers, and one mortar. So that is our primary concern at the moment, is to try to take out this mortar before it can do too much. So our Noble going in for the attack, try to shut them down. Phoenix coming in, also in the back line. We're going to try to get on some of these units in the back that are not anti-large or do not have very high weapon strength. We don't want to fight the depth guard with our Phoenix. They will wreck the Phoenix because of its low armor. But because Count Noctilus had besieged the settlement before, a lot of the walls are actually already destroyed, so we don't even have to wait for it. Tyrion just going to go through, go after this capture point, try to shut down some of these units. On the far side, we do have our Silver Helms and Illyrian Lancers going through the gaps on this side, going to get some control points, but they will be contested in a little bit. Count Noctilus coming down so we can start getting some shots off. You do have the other Necrofix Colossus on this side. These guys are really, really nasty. Over 1,000 damage, especially when they have a lot of ammo left because of Black Powder Penti. It is a really good ability. For us, we have 3 units of Spearmen followed up by a fair amount of Lothran Sea Guard and some archers. We are going to try to take out those high-value targets as soon as we can. Noble did a really good job, actually. Shut down the mortars for now, but some units are coming in to support him. Zombie Deckhand mobs and Count Noctilus in just a second. On the far side, we have started to take one of the capture points. We bring in our Silver Helms, though. Try to get a good charge off on these zombie pirate deckhand mobs before they can get in to contest us. So we use the Flamespire Phoenix to break the bracing of these guys and get them to turn. So we get a massive rear charge by the Silver Helms. Just going to decimate these guys very, very quickly. Awesome. On the far end, Tyrion been holding the line by himself for a little bit. We've started to move in some spearmen. Archers finally getting into range, although some of them have got wrecked by some army abilities from the Empire Coast. Count Noctilus now coming in for the dirty work. Gonna try to get onto our Noble. Oh, he is healing a little bit due to the Seed of Rebirth, but he does have to be in melee for that regen to come through. First control point is now in our hands. Illyrian Lancers going to come and try to get on this leadership point in the back, but it looks like their pathing got messed up a little bit, so they're trying to come this way instead of around. So they are unfortunately going to get countercharged by these animated hulks. Not a great matchup for our guys, even with their superior stats. These guys do have the weapon strength to get through the 50 armor of the Illyrian Lancers, but Silver Helms and the animated hulks having a pretty good back and forth. While the Flamespire Phoenix does support, but like the Illyrian Lancers, animated hulks are not something we want to fight, despite having pretty good armor on the Silver Helms, because we just don't have the points to get through their stats for the most part. Silver Helms are not great against large targets. But Tyrion, 43 kills. Spearman taking a fair amount of damage, although these guys did get quite heavily damaged by those armor abilities, but they are going to win against zombies and Midortholics pretty handedly. Our Noble has switched onto some of these gunnery mobs after shutting down the mortars. Mortars luckily did not get very much value. They maybe got 2 volleys off. But our Flamespire Phoenix does pull out after we get the Silver Helms out, because we are going to try and go help these Illyrian Reavers real fast. And we don't want to stay in combat against the animated hulks, because they will lock him down and be able to actually get through his very low armor. So not a great matchup for him, so we don't want to stay there. We are getting some spearmen on the walls just to actually get some more momentum by capturing these points. Gates are under our control now, and we've dealt with most of the units that were trying to block our way. But our Noble now, he's going to go after this Necrofix Colossus in just a second once we get these deck trappers off of him. Key to winning this is just shutting down the gunpowder so they can't do too much damage to our characters and our archers. But, ooh, big shot there by the Necrofix Colossus. 132 kills already. Big, big volley. But over on this flank, with the combined help of our Silver Helms, the Illyrian Lancers will actually not do too terrible against the animated hulks. But it's not a fight we want to keep, so we're going to try to come back to a different area. We don't want to go that way and get trapped, so we're going to come around this way. But Phoenix doing pretty well, shutting down a lot of these handgunners. Just trying to kill off as many models as we can so they lose some of their range capabilities. Missiles and Lothran Sea Guard start to get through the gates so they can get a better line of sight, start hitting some of these guys. Noble, we have shifted him onto the Necrofix Colossus. now that those deck droppers are dead. So gonna try to keep shooting this thing. It has lost its bonus from Black Powder plenty. And the Noble has pretty good stats. He doesn't have a bonus versus large, but he has a fair amount of armor piercing, and he does have poison attacks from the City of Rebirth, so he's going to do a fair amount of damage, but we are getting some of our ranged units into position so they can start to help out and kill this thing as fast as we can. Tyrion going to go help with his massive attack bonus. He does have Frenzy from defeating Malekith in the Dragon Armor of Venerian quest battle, so he just freaking rocks. Tyrion basically will fight anything and win. It's very hard for him to find a losing fight. But yeah, we did not want to go down here because it looked like they brought a lot of units, so our cavalry just trying to find some safety for now. But fight is going much better now. We brought our Phoenix back just because it started to take a little bit too much damage, but first Necrofex Colossus going to go down very quickly. Second one manned by our pirate captain here, Captain Noctilus. It'd be much harder to take down because he does have the ability to heal, but he also has regeneration, which can be really, really nasty along with Frenzy and the Hunger. So if he's in melee, he's going to be very hard to kill. But luckily Tyrion and our Phoenix do fire damage, so that is going to put a little bit extra damage on him because of regeneration. We've pretty much broken the back of all the undead units over here. Last little bit of gunnery mobs. Fighting the Phoenix, we don't want to get it too low because although it does have Rebirth, it has a chance to die from that. So hopefully we can avoid that. Luckily we get the ward save consistently because our mage is not in the army right now. But Tyrion getting a fair amount of value. Trying to find some higher value targets for him though. We do use our Rite of Val's Anvil there, the army ability, to break down this barrier in case we want to send some of our units into melee, but I noticed these guys are depth guard, which will absolutely decimate our spearmen. So we decided to pull them back, and we're going to focus everything we have on these guys, because they will be so nasty to kill in melee if we don't weaken them first. So we're just giving them everything we got. Less than half health, and they still haven't lost very many models yet, so that's not great. They do have the Hunger, so they can regen models if they actually get to melee. But Noble's going to come in, use his bonus infantry and poison to slow these guys down just a little bit. Phoenix coming in, treading on some gunnery mobs in the back. Fair amount of units still left, mostly zombies, but there are several things of animated folk still. 1, 2, 3. Silver Helms and the Illyrian Lancers actually not doing bad right now. Martial Prowess still holding their melee defense up quite a bit, so these guys are struggling to get through the armor of the Silver Helms. Illyrian Lancers are a little bit weaker, so we pull them back and come in for a charge to get the massive charge bonus in just a second. On the rear of these animated hulks. Hopefully that is enough to break them. Ooh, yeah, big damage right there. Not a lot of kills yet, but doing plenty of good for this battle. Necrofex Colossus. Trying to run away from Tyrion. But he's getting picked on a little bit. Yeah, Count Noctilus is going to be a real nightmare. Tyrion, even though he's at half health, going to do very well in this battle. Captain Noctilus has very good defensive stats for basically what map he's on, but his melee attack is not going to be good enough to get through Tyrion most of the time. But this Gunnery White, though, on the other hand, very, very nasty, super hard to kill, 120 armor, very good defensive stats. We're going to try to tie him up a little bit with some spearmen, but getting some nice shots off of these guys, unfortunately. We don't have a lot of melee anti-large left for our spearmen, so we're going to start bringing up some of our Lothian Seaguard once they run out of ammo. Wake of Fire coming down for our Flamespire Phoenix, trying to weaken these guys up a bit before it goes into melee, so it doesn't take too much damage, hopefully. But it is getting pretty low on health, so we might see Rebirth in a little bit. Silver Helms and Illyrian Lancers having another duel with some of these Animated hulks. A lot of the undead infantry trying to come to the center of the map, protect the more valuable control points. But we are trying to tie down Count Noctilus just so we can start to get some missiles into him. But he is putting up a very good fight. Our noble actually is starting to take significant damage. That healing from the Seed of Rebirth, not quite enough to keep up with the damage coming out of these two characters, but Tyrion, now that he's getting on Count Noctilus, getting lots of value now. Yeah, before he was at like 500, now he's at almost at 2,000 right there. Basically every attack does a serious chunk of damage. But looks like a zombie summon coming down for Count Noctilus as well to try to tie him up. Valerian Lancers, we do retreat from that other animated hulk because we want to come up and hit some of these more valuable units that are a little bit easier for us to kill with the cavalry. So we get a nice charge there. Some zombie deckhand mobs. Valerian Lancers finally starting to get some kills. They haven't really fought anything of value up until now. But there are still 3 units of gunnery mobs, basically at full health still, so a lot of value left. Zombie pirate deckhands with pole arms can be really nasty. We decided to pull our noble back before he gets caught by a nasty hit from these characters that would kill him, so we're going to try to save him the best we can. Tyrion did get the the Heart of Avalon right there. Big boost to his health. I love that item. It's so good. So we can actually take a look at it. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, so it gives him 25% hit points if he gets below 25%. So it's like, it's awesome. It's instant, basically, and it can cast, it can occur more than once. It just has a really long cooldown, but Lothran Seaguard, out of used up their ammunition, coming in for the fight now, trying to get on these animated hulks, Gunnery White, and Count Noctilus, who has gone down very, very quickly. He's got a few things of HP left, but one big hit from Tyrion takes him down. That will break the leadership of a lot of the units that are still left, but these guys did have, that were part of Noctilus's army, they did have quite a bit of experience. So they're able to last forever because of our experience mod. It gives them significantly more leadership the higher level they are, but I think we've dealt with most of the units that were in his army, except for these guys. These guys are rank 7, so yeah, they get 12 bonus leadership. So even with Count Noctilus being dead, they still have very good leadership. So we're going to have to do whatever we can to break the back of this undead army. Animated hulks still trying to catch up. We dealt with one of the deckhand mobs right there, but one's still surviving with 63 models. Silver Helms and Valerian Lancers starting to rack up some kills now. But we decide to bring in our noble for a little bit just to try to shut these guys down from shooting. And try to get a little bit of regen while he's at it. Phoenix shutting down these other guys. The keys to the kingdom are held by the ranged units of the undead army. So if we can shut them down, we'll get the settlement. But Vol's ammo going down to break down this barrier. Hopefully try to do a little bit of damage, but they did manage to get off in time. A lot of our missile units are moving up to where they can start to shoot this infantry. But, yep, 2 things of animated hulk still. One on this side, one on that side. Handgunners. Noble getting very close to death. If he does die, he does have the Jar of All Souls, which makes him immortal. So if we do lose him, it's not the biggest deal. But ideally, we don't want to have to wait for him to come back from being wounded. So he's just surviving by the skin of his teeth, but he's doing some work while he's at it. 162 kills, almost 1,200 value. Silver Helms and Valerian Lancers pushing through these zombies to come help and get a charge off on these gunnery mobs before they can get more shots off. Noble taking a little bit of damage from these fort towers, unfortunately. Yeah, some of the towers are very annoying. They did very well at capturing some of the points earlier, though, which did bring down some of the towers, but it's just the last little legs of the undead army. Ooh, they get one good volley there on these Lothran Seaguard, and the Phoenix coming in. But the big issue has been dealt with. We dealt with the Depth Guard, Noctilus, the hero finally goes down, the Gunnery White, and yet the undead army still does not want to give up. They're very, very close to death, but just Not quite enough. That siege defender proving to be very key, that extra 10 leadership. Like, these guys would basically have died previously when we killed Noctilus just because the leadership wouldn't have been able to recover, but just managed to in time. Phoenix coming down does get shot a fair amount. Ooh, we get a rebirth right there. Awesome. So it gets a big chunk of health back. Gonna start wrecking these handgunners. We should be pretty close to victory. Tyrion trying to kill off these animated hulks. They actually do manage to do a fair amount of damage to him, along with that gun rewrite, but we have the Lothar Seaguard now helping too. Been pretty good in melee though. 62 kills, almost 1,000 value. These guys probably won't even get into combat before we win the battle. But I'm very surprised it went on this long. Okay, there we finally might see army losses. Very last little bit. These Illyrian Lancers did get quite heavily damaged from a lot of these settlement towers. That was a really close battle. I completely forgot about the extra leadership all the undead units would get. So that made it really, really hard to kill them. Our noble survived by the skin of his teeth, but the extra heal actually might be nice. We're gonna loot and occupy it. This wouldn't be very high tier anyway, so it'll be worth it. Our noble censure. Let's do foe seeker. Although missile resist might be nice when we have to fight the vampire coast again. But with Tyrion, let's get standard ground. That would have been really useful throughout that battle for the extra melee defense. But Shrine of Cain is building itself back up. Costs... Oh, it's only $315 to repair it now, so let's do that. I want to get growth here as soon as I can, so we can actually start building this up, because right now we're not doing anything. And part of that is because of control, so...
Awaiting orders.
For the rest of the army, I don't think we need regiments of renown for now. We could get 2 Lothar Seaguard globally in one turn. I think we're fine with just spearmen, though.
As you command. Standing by.
And this guy, you've got a pretty good army. I think you'll be okay with what you have. In Lothern, we're saving all the growth to build up the capital. White Tower, kind of same thing. We're going to build up the White Tower first, so. Oh, we haven't looked at our Caravan Lord. Not this one. I guess the one that's coming back. He is, he did get leveled up, so let's look at him. We just went for Bowmaster. I think that's fine. Let's get another point there. And we'll see what happens over the end turn. Yeah, that was a really tough battle, though. Not having magic against the vampires really, really sucks. Yeah, the undead are... Ooh, Marathi. Okay. Oh, I need to build an outpost in Yvres, too. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. Looks like she's pretty much taken out Kislev. I need to check that. This campaign is going pretty well. We still have to deal with Nikari, too. I usually have dealt with Nikari by the time Marathi declares war on us, but it looks like because the Dread Fleet had weakened Ulthuan so much, we kind of have to do the long way. Oh, for a final chapter for Emmerich. So the most direct way to explain the situation to Emmerich is to show him the letter about your mage's meeting with Yao Ying, so you do so. When he looks from the page, the great prince's eyes are cold with anger. You mock me with this false missive. Rising he makes to leave. Court is an unkind place, you are right to doubt, but what if it were true, you ask, would you go? Emmerich pauses, taking the span of a breath, and chooses words carefully. If it were true, he says, and if you were a friend, would you counsel me to go? Emmerich's infatuation is likely doomed, and if it is not, it is dangerous. Knowing that all you know Should you advise him to listen to his feelings and journey to Cathay, or is it better to remind him that this is no world for hopeless romantics? Either way, what happens after Emmerich leaves this room is beyond your control.
Will this suffice?
So we can tell him to follow his heart, and we would get allegiance points with Cathay. It would reduce diplomatic relations with Cathay, but 25 with the northern provinces. And it would give Eye of the Dragon for Emmerich's army. Well, I guess for our army, but for leadership and forest spawning. Okay, plus Miaoying gets bonuses with Calador and Knights of Calador. Oh no, Emmerich gains that trait. Okay, so Emmerich would get bonuses for dragons. He gets 1500 experience, or we could favor Calador. And he seals your heart. We get 5 control faction-wide for 5 turns. Emmerich gets +2 local control, immune to psychology, which immune to psychology doesn't matter because he has terror on his dragon, so the grandure's alright, but like I can get grandeur eventually. We'll do this one because I don't want to like that's not very good for Emmerich, so we'll do that one. And it's more fun. Then we have Caradryan now, the captain of the Phoenix Guard, so like his lore, he gets his Frostheart Phoenix Mount Ashtari. He is anti-large, heavily armored. He can get some really cool bonuses for his army, which we'll look at a little bit more. So he gets melee defense, physical resist, and guarding for Phoenix Guard. Bonuses to Phoenix, which would be really nice because we kept our Phoenix alive. And captain of the Phoenix Guard, he gets some cool bonuses. So I'm very excited to see him more. Okay, Tyrion. Alariel's trying to come after the territory I want, so let's take the Nightwood with Tyrion, but we should make room for Caradryan real fast.
Bring me battle for my queen.
I don't want to merge these spearmen because I don't want to lose all the experience they've got, so let's get rid of the ones we recruited. Caradryan will go back there. Our mage should come back 3 turns. Before I forget, let's build an outpost
Prince, let your words be true.
In your territory. Looks like Emmerich is finally at war with Nakari. Let's build it in, Tory Grass just so it doesn't get taken. Okay, and what about the other High Elves? Kislev is down to 1 settlement and they basically have all their armies destroyed, so it's not going to change for them. Let's do an alliance with Illyrian now.
What would you wish to discuss?
Now that I know the outposts are going to boost our influence quite a bit. So let's build one here too.
Welcome, fellow Asser.
It's most of our money, but Griffin Gate, no, we want to do Tor Lear. Because that's the capital, so we want to make sure it doesn't fall.
Ulf one.
Tyrion, you shouldn't need to fight that. Okay. No sign of Marathi yet. She's probably up here somewhere. Let's start rebuilding this stuff. And try to get rid of the vampiric corruption as soon as we can. Beastman army. I don't want Averlorn to take Avathir, though. Oh no, we have our other army. I forgot about that. Yes. Cool. Ooh, he's got a free growth point, too. This just gives you income, so let's save our growth to get you to tier 2.
You have my attention.
Let's take Avathir. This guy's army's not that great. It's full of ships company, which these guys can be pretty good in most situations against the undead, but they're gonna suffer heavily against dark elves.
Standing by.
Let's get growth going here. Switch this over to banish corruption.
Noble son of Ulthuan.
And it's gonna do something with our money, but now I don't remember. Okay. Look at this. We have stand your ground now. We don't have any white lions or Phoenix Guard yet. This would benefit Silver helms and Illyrian stuff. Oh no. This would benefit just spearmen and Silver and Guard, which we don't have any at the moment. But Silver helms would get melee defense and weapon strength, which they're not at rank 7 yet. So we can wait. Caradryan, though. Our noble does training, right? No, he does replenish troops. What does dedicated to Terrasiran give us? Gives us local control, immune to psychology. Ooh, he gives leadership and immune to psychology to nearby units. Let's do that one first. We can wait on training. Can we? What if we trade Ilario? What if we trade her the Eagle Gate
What do you wish to discuss?
or the Phoenix Gate? Maybe. Would you give me it for that? Nope. Okay. I don't know if we have any settlement valuable enough to trade for Torjanil, because I really need this to get the growth bonus from the provincial command. Yeah, Tyrion. Let's start going down here. Let's do Merchant Lord for trade resources, which I don't think we've made contact with anyone in the Empire yet, but that's where our next convoy is going.
Corruption is rife.
And this guy's going to save his growth.
Noble born.
Okay.
I will hear your words, but I make no promise.
Nope, you're going to get wiped out, so... Yeah, now the question is, do we try to deal with Marathi first, or we go to Nakari? We should look at Yvras Althari and see how he is doing, because Nakari can be really nasty, especially if he starts getting some armored units. Like Chaos Warriors, because Martyrs are easy to deal with. Demonettes can be if we kill them with arrows, but once they get Chaos Warriors, it's significantly harder to deal with Slanesh. Oh, the folly of youth. So a young prince, impetuous and unknowing of the ways of court, has flown in the face of the order of precedence, speaking out against his elders publicly. Naturally, scandal has ensued. The Phoenix King is not required to wade into the hierarchical scuffles of the court, yet this prince shows promise. It would be unfortunate if he fell from grace to his naive impropriety. So we could privately advise him, and we get court attendant, which gives success chance and reduces the grandeur cost for tier 1 seats, which is not great. We could reimburse the offended parties and get 20 influence in return. Privately chide him would increase our recruitment cost, but it would give us influence and grandeur. Or we could allow him to be damned, and we get... That's not great. We don't want to do that. I think this is the best one. We don't care about recruitment costs right now, so... Ooh, Avalorn and... they stole one of my seats. Our follower got a good item, though. Herbalist. Gives her poison attacks. So looking at seats... Our random banner got stolen by Avalorn, which I'd rather push forward into higher tiers rather than trying to steal some back. Okay. Calm Worm during sea battles, that's pretty cool. Experience when fighting at sea. Tribute from vassals, which we don't have any. Income from faction capital settlements, which that'll be good for Lothran later, but for now let's do this one. I can't afford the other ones, and I don't want to wait quite yet.
I await your command.
Let's get rid of these beastmen before they become a problem. If we attack with Avalorn right nearby, they might... Yeah, they actually might not retreat, which would be great to give this guy more experience. Let's see what they do. If they retreat, we can have Tyrion come and help.
I concur.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Okay, she doesn't retreat. That's great. Oh no, they're not at war. Okay, well, we don't need Avalorn anyway. Let's take the grandeur per turn.
Standing by.
Okay, we'll have this guy come and deal with the Dreadfleet eventually. If I take you to sea right now, you won't have enough
Your request.
movement range to still go and upgrade your ship, so we're going to do that first. You'll get some extra heal from being in the settlement as well.
Noble son of Ulthuan.
Let's give you Merchant Lord and then Draft Master. Let's get you some more spears.
Ready for order.
Tyrion. Okay.
My life.
Looks like Nakari's on the back foot for now. Eltharion is dealing with him. So I guess we go after Marathi. Arnheim is a capital, so we probably want to take that first.
I shall go.
So let's do that. They likely won't retaliate and come over into Ulthuan right away. Oh, we don't have enough movement range.
Kill them.
That's annoying. Okay.
No! I'm surrounded by fools!
I'm surrounded by fools. Okay, we need to save money because you'll be able to upgrade this next turn. Our caravan, you're still 6 turns away. You're going to Barrack Var, if I remember right. Yeah. Okay, that's about all we can do right now. There's no empty hero slots or anything, so... Yeah, Marathi is probably coming down from Lakehold Fortress after killing off... Oh! Did she march all the way into the settlement?
Keep you from our realm.
Peace treaty? No. Oh, I forgot about... Count Noctilus. Taking the Galleon's Graveyard is always a nightmare.
My strength grows.
Okay, our convoy encounters a Chaos Temple. Okay, interesting. With water supplies so low, the Sightman Island waterfall elicits mighty cheer from the crew, but up close, high temple walls adorned with Chaos Stars shield the access to the water, and the temple entrance is obstructed by a crowd of devotees deep in ritual. So if we don't attack it, we'll be tired in any future battles. And luckily for us, it's not Zinch Worshippers, because they would have magic attacks, because a lot of our front line is going to rely on physical resist, because they are Wood Elf units. So let's take it to them. Well, looks like Nurgle, Pustrux, the Herald of Nurgle, and his boys come to attack our naval convoy. We have our High Elf / Wood Elf army, led by our Prince Noig. We have 2 units of Dryads and 2 units of Treekin, along with 2 Lithran Seaguard and some archers. For the enemy, mostly Marauders, but they do have 1 unit of Plague Bearers, which are nasty. These guys do have magic attacks, so they can actually get through the physical resist of our Dryads and Treekin. The Nurgle shouldn't be that big of an issue, but they do have 2 Chaos Chariots of Nurgle. Chariots are so annoying to deal with, especially when the AI is using them. So we're keeping our Treekin in the back to use their mass, hopefully to try to tie these guys down a little bit. We are trying to put as much as our missiles on these Plague Bearers as we can, since that's probably the biggest threat from the infantry. Marauders of Nurgle aren't a huge issue. Dryads do have 20% physical resist and okay stats, so they will hold out a fair amount of time if we're careful. Although, Miasma Pestilence coming down. Both Chariots trying to get to our back line. We do get the charge off with one of our Treekin, but it looks like 3 of the units managed to push through and keep pushing onto our archers. That's not great. Over here, we've kind of blocked them pretty well, though. Yep, Dryads, even 2-on-1, still faring pretty well against the Marauders. We have killed off some of the marauders as they've come in, but here are some coming back. Really trying to kill those plague bearers early before they can do much damage to our dryads. And the chaos chariots just being a nuisance. Tree can have a lot of mass, but they're not very fast. And their armor piercing isn't a whole lot, so they're going to struggle to do too much damage to the chaos chariots, but this is all about tying them up so they can't keep my range damage down. Over here, still doing pretty well at tying these guys down. They've started to take a little bit of damage. They're not really doing anything to our Treekin, which is awesome. These guys are very hard to kill. Great melee, defensive stats, physical resist, very good armor. But our convoy captain fighting a losing battle against this Herald, unfortunately. Despite having pretty good armor, he's just getting wailed on, even with his 72 melee defense. I found Princes just kind of underperforming melee most of the time. We got these Chaos Chariots off of our archers, but some Marauders are coming after them, so we're going to focus fire with most of our range units, try to shut them down. Over here, Dryads and Lothran Seaguard not doing too bad against these Marauders. Lothran Seaguard are in guard mode, so they'll continue to shoot. But we've dealt with most of the infantry. It's just trying to get through some of these chariots, but let's take a closer look at the Dryads. Dryads are really cool. They're fiendish little devils, apparently. They do not like mortals. Lost a fair amount of our models, though. Over half. We're down to 44 out of 100. Over here, fared a little bit better, 64. Despite fighting the Plague Bearers, actually, the Marauders did a lot more damage over here. Because I think we didn't help them out quite as much with Archer Fire, but we've tried to switch some of our missiles now to get these chariots. These guys have gone down quite a bit more. They're a little bit below half. 3 out of 4 models left. Over here, same deal. The Herald of Nurgle, I decided just to not try and fight him in combat with our prince, and just to focus on the rest of his army and let him crumble to death afterwards. Okay, one chariot unit has been routed. Second one still holding on, but some Marauders have managed to come back and get on my Lothran Seaguard a little bit. But our Dryads are chasing some units down, getting some more kills. 106 kills, actually. Dryads did very well in melee. What about our other one? 131 kills, although they took far more damage. But yeah, these chariots just proven to be very, very annoying. Prince does come in for a nice charge attack there on the Herald of Nurgle, though. And our Treekin, these guys are nightmare fuel if you've seen them. Do you know what they actually remind me of? If you've seen the second Tomb Raider movie, The Cradle of Life, the shadow monsters, the Treekin actually remind me of them. But we finally tied these guys down. One is just gonna try to get away, but we're shooting some missiles now. The other guys came back for one mass charge, but he's down to one model. Very little health left, and we're getting some nice direct shots there with our Lothran Seaguard and archers on these guys. These guys will go down very quickly. If we can get one more good volley off. Prince, with his high weapon strength, pretty decent armor piercing, gonna try and kill off the chariots. Does kill one model there. See if we can get the second one. We're getting a little bit of friendly fire from archers, though. But the leadership for the army has broken. The Herald just getting banished from demonic instability, so chariots proved to be real big nuisances. They actually killed a fair amount of our archers, or wounded quite a bit of them. But our Treekin didn't quite do what they were supposed to. They didn't get too much value melee-wise. So, could have been better, but we did okay. Gosh, chariots are so annoying. That's the one unit that's normally terrible, but when it's in the hands of the AI, it becomes, like, impossible to kill. We took a lot of damage, so I'm going to take the heal on our caravan. Our convoy. Ooh, we got vigor loss reduction for Lothran Seaguard now. What I'm really trying to get is this, but we need to have the Elven Court, which We have to hit tier 4 first. Because I want to get this, we can get another convoy. But in the meantime, it would cost money to get to tier 2, but it has some really nice bonuses, even though I need the money right now. So I think this is actually more worth it. Let's go for precise fletching. More missile damage and more ammunition is fantastic.
Noble son of
Yeah, I still don't know where. Yeah, I would say I still don't know where the vampire coast went. Okay, it's not Marathi's army actually. It's a secondary army that went into the settlement. We still don't have a mage though, because we get her back in 2 turns. Next turn.
Tyrion, heir of an heir,
We can't retreat because we're in the circle of influence.
servant of the king.
We can't go to sea. And we don't want to sit here and wait because they have another army that can come support.
Protector of the Everqueen.
I definitely don't want to fight a siege battle against all that Dark Elf missiles.
Her servant.
I think we actually take the fight to them and fight them in the field, because then we can use cavalry. Oh, that's a lot of units, though. Let's look at the map before I make up my mind. Okay, it's a lot of infantry, but as long as we shut down the shades and the dark shards, I think we should be okay. We can deal with the Scourger chariots with our characters. And yeah, I think we can do it. Tyrion has come for the Druki, our first battle against the Dark Elves, this time the Cult of Pleasure. I didn't quite realize that this battle wouldn't have the full army to start off with, so we actually kind of got lucky. And the main army and the settlement garrison are actually going to have to reinforce. So we're going to set up all of our army over there, except for our characters. Actually, we have Caradryan for our first battle too. Captain of the Phoenix Guard. Really, really awesome. Very excited to see him do some damage. But first, we're going to deal with this Dreadlord and some Shades and a Scourger in her chariot. Riverbolt Thrower gets brought down very quickly by the Phoenix. It is off its artillery pieces, and Sunfang going down just wipes those guys out. Look at those Shades just get toppled. Oh man, they just got decimated because of that. If you guys don't know, units that fall a certain distance actually take damage. And so these guys took a fair amount of damage because there was a significant enough drop, so they just got decimated. But the Scourger in her chariot proved to be a little bit more than I thought it would be on our noble. I forgot that Scourger in her chariots can actually shoot while they're in melee. So those really nice anti-large missiles doing a fair amount of damage to our noble. He's going to get some healing off. With the main force dealt with, we are going to prepare for the real threat. These guys coming in do have some experience. Settlement garrison has some dread spears, bleak swords, and 3 units of dark shards with shields. But the army led by the Supreme Sorceress has demonettes, it has shades. We only have 4 things of spearmen, so we're going to do our best to try to hold them down while the rest of our force gets here. Caradryan going straight into the fray, trying to get some kills and keep these guys occupied. We do have a fair amount of missile units though, so we're going to try to get value there. No magic at this battle because our mage is still occupied with Imric and Cathay. But these spearmen taking damage very, very quickly from those demonettes. Not a great matchup for them. But we have tied down most of the infantry. They are trying to push through into some of our back line, but we did put our Lothing Seaguard with shields more in the front so they can block them. And Wake of Fire coming down from our Phoenix. All these heavily blobbed units. Look at all that damage right there. It's like 6 units going down to half health very, very quickly. Oh man, I love this thing. Ooh. Supreme Sorceress, though, managing to stay alive. It did get one use of Penumbral Pendulum real fast when they first came onto the battlefield. But Tyrion and the Silverhelms and Illyrian Lancers have come in to support our Spearmen. Illyrian Lancers getting a really nice charge there on the Shades. We have started to break the leadership of the Dark Elf army very, very quickly. That mass routing is going to affect their leadership quite a bit. And we do have terror coming down. So, doing very, very great. I love the terror causing Phoenix, and we just annihilate that army as it comes onto the battlefield. Ah, heroic victory. I didn't realize these two armies would come in as reinforcements, so we didn't quite do as much damage as I would have liked, but the big thing is we didn't take too much damage ourselves. We definitely want the heal, though, because we are in Slaanesh corruption right now. Yeah, the crappy thing is a lot of that army lived, so we're still going to have to fight that battle, most likely.
Servant of the king.
For Tyrion, let's keep going for income from trading, because our income has dropped quite a bit. Okay, our noble is level 14. We unlock your unique skills at 18. We can get our next upgrade for Champion of Hoeth, next level. Let's take Missile Resist since we're fighting Dark Elves. Caradryan, however you want to do it. We're going to take Training. You can actually change him into a Lord if you want to, but we're going to keep him as a hero because I like how he functions with a lot of the units we're going to recruit. Like, I love Phoenixes, and he makes Phoenix Guard so much better. Plus, he's a mounted Lord who gets anti-large on a monster, so he's really great in an army. Let's get Weapon Master, which, speaking of, does he get the Phoenix Blade at rank 12? Okay. Yep, we're going to have to take this. There's a lot of siege battles this episode. Hey. Attacking Arnheim. It's actually a former High Elf colony. Tyrion, gonna lead the charge, go after the gates while we wait for Val's Anvil, our army ability from our right, to give us the ability to break down some walls. So they're trying to get some shots off on him, but our Noble and Flamespire Phoenix can get on the wall, shut down these dark shards for a little bit. Caradryan is leading the main force. Really cool. He's actually a really cool character in the lore. So he is the anointed, well, he is the captain of the guard, but he is an anointed of a certain, basically. So he's one of the leaders, but he was basically like this really mouthy, very prideful noble. And might have been a prince, actually, and he goes to the Shrine of Asuryun because all the princes are supposed to make pilgrimages there. And he goes there and he becomes a Phoenix Guard, and he just like completely changes his character, which is kind of awesome. Asuryun's a really cool god for the elves, but Noble just trying to shut down our dark shards. Our missiles gonna focus down these shades before they can do too much damage, hopefully. But our Flamespire Phoenix not doing too bad to shut down those dark shards. We have brought our Silver Helms and Illyrian Lances over here to try to go through the gate. Which, thinking about it, I probably could have saved that Val's Anvil ability first to get through the gates over there. That might have been a little bit better, but our Spearmen are going through the breach now. Gonna go after some of these melee units. But we've shut down most of their ranged firepower for now, which is really, really well. Tyrion coming around for the charge on Malhandir. He's gonna go for the Supreme Sorceress. Caradryan just kind of chasing whatever units he can get his hand on. A little bit indecisive there, deciding which unit of Dark Shard's going to go after, but our Noble comes out over here. So Caradryan going after these guys. He actually is a little bit faster than him. He has 38 speed, so pretty good. 30% physical resist. The Busted of Asuryun, this is one of his unique skills, give leadership and psychology nearby, and he has martial mastery. So this guy is very hard to take down. 64 melee attack, 72 melee defense. Tyrion trying to find his target, getting blocked every once in a while, but here he's going to come in for a nice charge. Oh, just barely misses it. Come on. Oh, having trouble apparently. Can't find his mark. No, it gets a charge. It doesn't quite get the attack, though. But with us starting to get shot there by these dark shards, I decided to pull our cavalry off and come over to this gate. But we are through the breach now. Last unit of Dread Spears. These guys will be out in just a second, so we're going to bring in all of our archers so they can get a better line of sight so they don't have to shoot over the walls. Tyrion and that noble just wrecked that Supreme Sorceress very, very quickly. She just went down like a sack of potatoes. But, yeah. Flamespire Phoenix did some awesome work there with Wake of Fire, actually. 100 kills. Doing very well. Our Spearmen have moved up, trending on this capture point. But Murderous Prowess is going down for a lot of the Dark Elves right now, so they can do a fair amount of damage, even in melee, if we are not careful, which these Dread Spears do get their melee attack up to 34th, Murderous Prowess, but gonna struggle to get through the massive defense of our characters at the moment. We have Standard Ground down with Tyrion, so they're getting that extra big boost to melee defense, which is going to help them out. But a lot of units coming over to pick on our Spearmen. Some Bleak Sword's going to hit our Spearmen in the back. Yeah, Wake of Fire there. Awesome. 151 kills. Great. So you can get a few more right there. I love that ability. But Lothing Seaguard and Archers moving in. One last unit of Bleak Sword trying to hold out. Our cavalry has moved in through the back. We did use our other use of Val's Anvil to break those gates. Moved in the cavalry, come take the leadership point, try to get this battle over as quickly as possible. Over here, let's take a quick look at this this battle. We have the Phoenix supporting our Spearmen, finding some Dread Spears and Bleak Swords in the back, but we have started to target them down. Some archers, and they're falling very quickly now that their backs were turned, so they don't get that missile block chance. Another big cast of Sunfang right there by Tyrion. I really love that ability. Sunfang's such a cool item in the lore. Captured with the spirit of the Volcano of Val's Anvil. But we're going to use the last little bit of time to get some healing off on our Noble. If he's in melee, he does replenish. But with that, the settlement is ours. We have retaken Arnheim, colony of the High Elves. Ah! Did really well. Phoenix got a lot of kills with its Wake of Fire. I think we're actually pretty good on health, so I don't need to loot and occupy this. Nice thing is that Arnheim is also an elven colony, so its ports make a little bit more money. But Tyrion's at level 21, very, very quickly.
Heir of an Aryan.
I would really like to get to more casualty replenishment and then a research rate. So let's keep going down the blue line. Our Noble, we can get another point into Champion of Hoeth. So he gets slightly more missile block chance and more bonus for infantry. Caradryan, you get your unique skill at 10. I'm going to put one more point into training, then we'll save our points to get his unique stuff.
Her servant.
Okay.
Noble son of Ulthuan.
Athenor. Let's take you to C now that we've got you to tier 2. And you'll start coming after... Actually, we'll have you come fight the Dark Elves, because I'm not exactly sure when the Dreadfleet is going to show up again. That actually might be a pain to go out there without Tyrion. So we'll wait on that. Let's upgrade the White Tower. We have 7 more turns till we can get to tier 4. And unfortunately we don't have any public order to get this, to actually get some positive growth until we get some heroes. Like the Handmaiden have positive growth if I remember right. Okay, I don't need casualty replenishment right now. Let's do research rate, magic item drop chance.
Direct me.
And are there any island encounters on the way over here? Not really? Only all the way up there? Okay. I'll send Tyrion north. You'll meet us at the moon chart, and then we'll both go towards Quintex.
Shield against the darkness.
I am busy with my
Xiaoming wants to trade? Yes, please. outpost upgrade. So, what do we get from the outpost upgrade? Just better unit selection? Costs 4,000 though, but it's more influence a turn. More grandeur a turn. Let's do it. We're not super in need of money right now, so I'm okay with that. Corruption is basically gone here, so let's switch this over to growth.
My visions
And let's see what happens. Okay, so that army actually stayed there. They just came out of March stance, but Marathi decided to show up. I'm actually scared to fight Marathi. She's an incredible spellcaster. And we don't have our mage back. Oh, she may be coming back this turn. That reminds me, I should look for her. Yeah, because she should be back by now. Okay, we have another encounter, this time against Nurgle again. They've got one Chaos Warrior, plenty of Nurglings and Rotflies. Our army is a little bit damaged, but our Treekin should be able to absorb most of the front line. I think we can win that. But that's a great spot to end episode 5, guys. This has been loads of fun. I'm very excited to fight Marathi. A little bit scared too, but we're having plenty of fun with this campaign, so I'll see you in episode 6. Have a great day, guys.